And we are back with the Veterans of Politics endorsement interviews. We are now on University Regent District 7. I apologize. So if you would, please give us your elevator pitch, which is your 30 to 45-second bio. When answering the panel members, please preface your answer with your name for the listeners at home. And we'll go ahead and kick it off for us.
Kick it up, push up.
Hello.
Preface.
My name is Bob Hasagawa. I'm a candidate for District 7 Board of Regents. I'm a retired employee with the City of Las Vegas. My highest position there was acting assistant city manager. During that time, I was in charge for 10 years of finding money for the city or saving money outside of the taxation and fee system. And some of my successes brought in approximately $24 million in savings for the city, or actually extra income. I did this for a period of 10 years. Prior to that, I practiced law in Chicago. I'm a graduate of the University of Illinois with a law degree and a BA. I was, my first job out of law school was a federal civil rights investigator. So my main pitch is that the only way to solve the problems of education at all levels is to have a lottery for education, which is of course opposed by many people, including the gaming industry. So, not to be influenced by campaign contributions, I take none. I'm just relying on my own shoe leather and word of mouth to say that the only way we can solve our problems educationally, especially the budget, is through a lottery education. For example, California, our neighbor, raised $1.101 billion in 1 year. New Jersey raised $882 million in 1 year. Oregon has raised $8.7 billion since 1985. And even lowly Arizona raised $124 million in 1 year. Certainly, this is the only way that we can get a large enough chunk of money for education at all levels without imposing new taxes or raising taxes. So basically, I can say that I believe I'm well qualified as an experienced bureaucrat, where I know where all the money is, and perhaps being hidden or squirreled away. I've had 10 years of external auditing experience, so I can read a set of books, and I will. Thank you. Bob Hasagawa.
Hello, I'm Mark DeBrava. I'm a product of the public school system here. I went to Clark High School, and then I got my undergraduate degree from UNLV. From there, I went to the University of Nevada, Reno, and got my medical degree. And then I left the state temporarily to go to Baylor College of Medicine in Texas, and then Louisiana State University in New Orleans. My wife and I returned here in '97, and I set up a solo practice. I'm an ophthalmologist. And with my experiences at UNLV and UNR, I was involved in student government at that time. I've always had an association and a connection with the universities, and I certainly want to participate on a higher level, and that includes the Board of Regents.
My name is Rose Moore. I have a radio show called The Rose Moore Show on special education and disabilities. I'm also an advocate for 30 years for disabled children. My daughter, Heather, is a movie star, and she graduated from UNLV, which we're very pleased with at that time. With the budget cuts that are going on at the school, everybody is talking about, the Regents people are talking about how everybody is not collaborating with each other. That one school is getting more money, or they're trying to get more money, or whatever. Do you feel on the Board of Regents that maybe UNLV in particular should be concentrating on maybe specific areas in the different colleges instead of the Mickey Mouse ones that you may have. I don't want to say Mickey Mouse really, but the lower ones. Do you feel that we should be doing that so that when around the world or throughout the United States, UNLV will be noted as to be an MD, to be a JD, an attorney, instead of all these little things that are happening?
Mark DeBrava, if I understand the question correctly, were you referring to future budget cuts that to be more singled out to certain programs that may not be as large as opposed to across the board cuts?
I'm not talking about the cuts in particular, but when you get the budget money down to where it should be, that some colleges, some schools within the college will be more prominent than the others. So the ones that are not as prominent, get rid of those and work on the ones that are prominent. So your standards for UNLV are a lot higher in a concentrated area.
That I would agree with as far as trying to enhance or improve the academic reputation of the universities and the community colleges that we have in our state. With our current budget cuts, I think it is actually an opportunity to do some pruning and some selective cutbacks, even though they can be painful at times. But I think it's a time to kind of hit the reset button, see what our strengths are, and go from there.
I think Bob Hasagawa at bobforregent.com. Thanks. It's often said that the reason that the infighting at universities is so vicious is because the stakes are so small, and I certainly believe that. The main problem, I think, with other than funding, which I believe can be solved with a lottery for education now, the problem is that we need to make UNR and UNLV into more elite universities by limiting enrollment to approximately what it is now, and then raising the admission standards to keep it that way, to make it a more competitive institution, and to ensure that you have statewide availability of students who are deserving to have a automatic acceptance of the top 5 or 10% of the graduating classes of every school, high school in the state. That leaves lots of room for other people, but at least would ensure that you would have a uniform enrollment cross-section of the population within Nevada. Next, you need to begin adding courses, 4-year degree programs to the community colleges, the CSN. In this way, these colleges will develop into, I hate to use the word second-tier colleges as you have in many states like Illinois. You have Eastern, Northern, Western, and Southern Illinois universities, which feed into or are adjunct to the University of Illinois, which is the flagship school. In Texas, you have 2 flagship schools, A&M and the University of Texas, and many, many other subsidiary, not subsidiary, but schools that are not quite as high quality. So this is the direction we need to go into. But we can't go into any direction unless we have money. I believe that a lottery for education would raise approximately $600 to $700 million a year without raising taxes. The busiest lottery station in the entire state of California is right on the border with Nevada. And this is Bob Hasagawa. Thank you.